Are you ready to evolve or just maintain the status quo?
All right, let's talk about AI, but go way beyond just a basic chatbot. In this explainer, we're going to get into how you can actually build a personal team of specialized AI assistants, each one tailored to exactly what you need. It's a really cool shift in thinking, right? Moving from just using AI to actively building with it.
So, does this sound familiar at all? You're just drowning. You've got articles, reports, all this data piling up. But actually turning that mountain of information into real, usable wisdom? Yeah, it feels next to impossible. It's that classic feeling of being starved for wisdom in a sea of data.
But what if you could actually wrangle all that chaos? Imagine assembling your own personal team of AI experts, where each one has a very specific job. Well, that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to break down a really simple 3-level framework for building your very own AI team. Okay, let's dive into level 1. We're starting at the most personal level, creating your own one-on-one AI advisor. And look, this isn't just some generic chatbot. This is a specialist that you designed to help you think smarter. Just think about it. You're working on a new project, right? Instead of just bouncing ideas around in your own head, what if you had an expert sounding board on call 24/7, and their entire job is to challenge you, poke holes in your ideas, offer up improvements, basically to make your thinking ironclad? So how do you actually build this thing? Well, the tool is called a gem, and you can create it right inside Google's Gemini. A gem is basically a version of the AI that you get to customize yourself. You get to give it a role, a personality, and specific instructions on how to act. You are literally in the director's chair here. And you know what? Building one is surprisingly easy. First, just give it a name and a job title. Something like, I don't know, expert interior designer. Then, you feed it some instructions, telling it what a great designer does and how it should talk to you. And that's it. You just start chatting and asking for feedback. It's really that simple to get your first team member up and running. And check this out. This is a perfect example of the kind of instructions you can give. See, you're not just asking for boring facts. You're programming a whole dynamic. You're literally telling it, hey, challenge me. Be candid. Don't hold back. This is how you take a general purpose tool and sharpen it into a truly personal advisor. All right, so now you've got an advisor for all your new ideas. But what about all the research you've already done? You know, that folder of PDFs and articles? Well, that brings us to level 2, the personal AI librarian. Think of it this way. Your advisor is perfect for that one-on-one sparring session. But a librarian? Their job is to manage a whole collection of information. This is for when you've got that messy folder full of PDFs, articles, maybe some meeting transcripts, and you desperately need to see how it all fits together. Now the key word here, and this is super important, is grounding. We're going to use a tool called Notebook LM for this. And the big difference is, it doesn't just search the whole internet. No, it bases its answers only on the documents that you give it. This is absolutely critical, because it basically eliminates the risk of the AI hallucinating or just making stuff up. That means you get trustworthy answers that you can actually trace back to your sources. And this is the payoff. You can take all those scattered sources, upload them, and it can generate something amazing like this. A mind map that visually lays out all the key themes and connections hiding in your documents. It literally transforms a digital mess into a clear, structured insight. And what it can do is seriously impressive. You can get a quick one-page summary of everything. You can ask really specific questions like, hey, which of my documents talk about color theory? It'll find themes that pop up across different files. It can even generate an audio summary you can listen to in the car. It's just an incredibly powerful research assistant to have on your team. Okay, so we've covered getting expert advice and making sense of documents you already have. Now it's time for the final level, the big one. Assembling a full-on AI research team to go out and tackle brand new questions. This is for those times when the answer isn't just sitting in a folder on your computer. This is when you have a huge strategic question and you need to conduct brand new, deep research to actually go out and find the answer. So, how on earth do you manage something that complex? Well, you don't just throw a vague question at it. Instead, you create a strategic research plan. This is where you take charge. You define the exact scope of the project. You tell it which sources to trust. You set the time frame. You point out the core themes. You're not just a user anymore. You're the project manager, directing your AI team to execute your vision. And believe me, the difference is just staggering. The old way? That was hours, maybe days or weeks of painful, manual searching, compiling, and trying to make sense of it all. The new way? You create one single, clear strategic plan, and the AI generates a comprehensive, fully synthesized report for you. We're talking about a massive, massive leap in efficiency. And the real-world applications for this are just so practical. You could use it to run a deep dive competitive analysis. Or maybe you need to research a new piece of software your company is thinking about buying. Or maybe you just need to get up to speed on new industry regulations, like yesterday. It's all about getting those comprehensive answers and getting them fast. So there you have it. We've just walked through 3 completely different levels for building out your personal AI team. Let's do a quick recap of the roles you can now create.
First up, you've got your AI advisor. That's your custom gem designed to give you that sharp, expert feedback that really refines your ideas. Next, you have your AI librarian. This is your go-to for turning all of your own documents into grounded, trustworthy insights.
And finally, your AI research team. This is the powerhouse you deploy to tackle those big, complex questions by executing a strategic plan that you designed.
So what's the big takeaway here? It's this. The real power of AI gets unlocked when we stop seeing it as just a simple tool and start treating it like a building material, something we can use to create customized partners that amplify our own intelligence. So, we've just laid out the blueprints for you: an advisor, a librarian, and a full research team. The only real question left is, what are you going to build first?